Hello, my name is Hannah, and today we are building another apartment. Now, this apartment is currently named Calm Mint Apartment, but funny, thing, in my calendar it is literally just labeled apartment. So typically when I'll put it into my calendar, I will put it with like a singular descriptor if I don't have like a full name, because some of them, green trailer is easier to identify than if I were to just put trailer. Well, this not with more like trailers, because I don't do very many like trailer builds, but like if I were to build apartments like all the time, which I do, then if I put all of them as apartments, I'd be like, so when am I putting an apartment out? I don't know. It just one of these days that it just says apartments. So that's what I don't do typically. I'll like do something to identify it as. So I probably will change it. Sometimes I'll even just put family apartment, and then I'll be like confused, because like family apartment does not tell me anything. It tells me like just a slight bit more than apartment does, because most of my apartments have at least 2 bedrooms in them. So family apartment tells me absolutely nothing. So it's definitely useless. But sometimes at night when I am just like put it in the calendar and go to bed, I'll just like, you have apartment. I built an apartment. We'll put that in the calendar. And then it's just like, yeah, that's apartment. Yep, we're gonna work with that. And then I have to go back and be like, what apartment was I talking about? And typically I'll like release them in the order that I built them, but sometimes it's like, no, we can't do that. Like, I was gonna do that with apartments last week, but then I proceeded to not make any builds for 2 days, so that didn't work out as well as I thought it was going to. So you got 3 apartments, but like no one cared, so it's all good, apartments would be just fine, and that's typically what happens. But I think, no, never mind. I was gonna say this is the only apartment this week, but I think there's another one. So we're just gonna ignore that entirely. Also, I'm not exactly sure. I know I said it was Calm Mint Apartment. You can see kind of, it's minty right now. There's not really much decorated in this apartment, but it's more like a blue-gray kind of color. You'll see the bar stools right now that you can see. That color is the color that I went with. What color is that? I couldn't tell you, but I went with mint, because mint is just like, it's just a thing. It doesn't really have a stark like definition. Like you look at red and it's like, yeah, that's red, but like mint is so specific, but it's also just like what is mint and what is not mint, which like when you're doing like the not so berry challenge, I was seriously looking at like colors for like 30 seconds a minute and just be like, is that really mint though, or is that just light blue? Because it may not be. And then I was just like, it's fine. It's a color. It'll be okay. If I say that's mint, it's mint in my head. But I'm still just like, is it mint though? Is it? So, it's very fun times. Just colors. I think I talked about colors one time for an entire video. Or that may have been the one I scrapped. I don't really know. We'll figure out sometime. But today I'm going to talk about oral comm again, because I feel like that and geoscience are like the only classes that something actually interesting ever happens. Yeah, because that's like the classes that take the longest in my mind. That's the class that I'm at the longest, but actually I'm at all of them evenly. So that's not actually how that works, but it feels like I'm in those classes forever. Like biology goes super quickly, and so does English, but then I'm like in geoscience for like literally 2 hours. It's just like, okay, can I go out of this class now? And it's just like, no, you got 20 more minutes left. And I'm just like, how? So it's really fun, but this is oral comm. Oral comm does the same thing as geoscience, but in oral comm, we are about to start a persuasive speech, and now it has to be 5 to 7 minutes long, which, if you're in like college or above that doesn't sound terrible, but as a person who, this is my first experience doing any talking in front of a class basically ever. I've done like 2 or 3 things before this, and I hated it. I hate it now, so nothing's changed. We're same person over here. It's terrible. But 5 to 7 minutes of talking, especially when I have to persuade someone, that's a nightmare. Especially since I don't really have opinions. Well, I do. I just don't share my opinions very often with like people, especially like grand groups of people that were in like my classes. Like Bob from Oral Comm does not need to know my stance on some weirdly controversial opinionated topic. Like, no, I'm actually okay. But I have to figure it out by Friday, like Friday end of the period, and I have literally no idea. I think this will be posted before Friday, but I think I'm gonna try and figure it out tonight. But I have no idea. I have literally no idea what I'm going to do. I cannot figure out a topic. And like, okay, so we're supposed to use okay, so I'm going to say ethos, logos, and pathos is what we're supposed to do. Now, if you have no idea what that is, same. But like, you're supposed to use emotion and then like facts and like credibility to make your persuasion work better. And it's just like, how am I supposed to do that? Like, how am I supposed to like figure stuff out? Like, some kids probably already have topics. They're already got their like ideas down, and I'm over here just like opinion. I've got an opinion. Where's the opinion? I cannot find it. I need someone to tell me where it is, because I cannot, it's not in there, so I'm not sure really what I'm supposed to do. I'm assuming I'll figure it out before Friday, but if not, I have, the entire weekend to stress about not having a topic. But I also know that I learned that we were doing this speech like 2 weeks ago, and I've been thinking about it since, and I still have not figured out a topic. So we're gonna hope something comes. But like, I have 2 days, and that's like when we're supposed to like start thinking about it, and we're learning about it now. But I'm just like, I still don't have a topic. Like we talked about like some sample topics, and I'm just like, I don't want to talk about that for 7 minutes. Like, I don't have a strong enough opinion, and I don't think I could find enough research on that to like do that. And it has to be like a full-on speech. Like, I don't know how to do that. Like, I may have been in oral comm for like 15 weeks at this point. Still can't do it. This class didn't teach me anything in that. Like, I guess I taught it. Like, I put the information in my head, but I'm not going to apply it ever. Like, ever. Like, no, it's not going to happen. So it's just in there. It's in there. It's going to work somewhere. It's just not going to go very well. I have a feeling college speeches are going to go really, really well right there. So that'll be a fun experience when I get there, but we're going to just get through oral comm right now, and maybe I'll find a speech eventually. Hopefully. I do have to do this, speech to pass the class, like, or I have to redo the class. Like, that's actually like the only of the 2 speeches that we have to do to pass the class is this one and another one. So, that's really fun. But we're getting to the end of the video, so it is almost screenshots time. I hope you enjoyed my persuasion speech, like talking. But, as I said, it's almost screenshots time, so I post a new video every day of the week, so you can watch another video tomorrow. Bye!